Farabee's HairQ test came in, so I want to talk to you guys about that. First off, before I even get started, I'm not going to go over every single element because there are just so many, and there's some that like there wasn't anything off. So I'm just going to talk to you guys about the main ones that were either toxic levels or either too low. Since I got her results in and I now know what we're missing, I've taken a little bit of time and written everything out that we can add. Her aluminum, arsenic, and mercury were high. They weren't astronomically high, but they were registering like that there was more than trace elements. In other words, it was registering on there. So I'll put it in so you can see what I'm talking about. Which I knew arsenic was going to be high just because of rice. Aluminum, arsenic, and mercury are the things that we're trying to remove. And so basically to remove arsenic, you just have to not be exposed to it. So we're working on that already. I've been trying to incorporate more foods into her diet that are not just her dry kibble. So we've been working on that for maybe around a month or so. So what she's doing is she's having some fresh food in her topple along with Nom Nom is what we've been using. And so that's going in her topple. So that makes up, maybe about a quarter of her food that she was eating. And then I've also been adding a lick mat. So to reduce arsenic, like I said, we've already been adding some fresh stuff and different things to try to get her off of kibble and not rice-based products. So that's the first thing. We've already been doing that. So to detox from aluminum, you can use diatomaceous earth, which is super awesome because I already have diatomaceous earth. So we're just gonna add some of that to her stuff. So that's easy peasy, whatever. And also diatomaceous earth has silica, which is the main active ingredient in there, which is why it does detox from aluminum. We always get the organic food grade diatomaceous earth, which I'll show you guys the bag in a minute. It's like I get the 20-pound bag, so we have enough of that. I read something about cilantro can remove mercury. We do not have cilantro. I am not a cilantro fan, but what I'll do next time I go to the store, I'll see if I can maybe buy a small amount and see how Farabee feels about it. It's good for dogs. I did check on that too before I made my notes for myself. So that's a good thing. Vitamin E is also good to help process out mercury. And so I've added broccoli and spinach on my list because those can help process that out because they're high in vitamin E. And also they're high in calcium and iron, which Farabee was actually low in calcium, iron, and magnesium. Broccoli and spinach are kind of like doing three things here. So they are helping with the processing mercury out of her system because it's high in vitamin E. And then also it is going to help increase her calcium and iron because they're also high in those things. So what I'll probably do is just start with broccoli because we have that. And then the last thing that I'm adding is something from this group, either quinoa, edamame, or peanut butter, because all of these things are good sources of magnesium. And so what I've been doing is adding peanut butter, not because of this at all, but because whenever I've been putting her HWF in her topple, I need something to seal that hole. So on weeks when she's on for HWF, I probably will add the peanut butter and that'll be like our thing. And then right now, what I'm about to do is I'm gonna cook some quinoa and just have it in little containers ready to go so I can incorporate that because it increases magnesium and fiber, and she really needs both of those things. Magnesium helps you to kind of feel more calm. And if you have a lot of anxiety or like you feel stressed or you can't relax, like making sure your magnesium level is good is a really good place to start. Also, it can help you sleep, I believe. I think it can help you sleep, but that kind of all goes together because it's to do with your parasympathetic nervous system, I think. Anyway, what I'm doing today, I made a little note right here that says today. So I'm gonna cook quinoa right now. And then I am going to steam some broccoli and puree it because it said that's the best way for them to be able to absorb it. And you just lightly cook it, like not all the way, just lightly cook it. Also puree it. I heard that was the best, so that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm going to make some little jello mold things in here with some broccoli and turmeric and stuff. Turmeric is really good for them as well. It's good for, she doesn't have arthritis, but it's good for your joint health and a few other things as well. I can't remember off the top of my head, but basically turmeric is good. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'll probably put my diatomaceous earth in a little container because right now it's in a 20-pound bag and it's kind of a pain like to get it out. And then if you guys are interested in getting your pet tested, use code Jennifer Fair and get 5% off over at HairQ. I will put a link down below for you guys, and also just be sure to use that code, and that way you get 5% off. None of her levels are so astronomical one way or another that it should really mess her up. And also she's 3 years old. So, you know, we're kind of starting, I would say pretty early in the game here. And then, you know, the things that we found out that she is low in, this could totally be helpful if your dog is like acting like maybe you feel like they're more high strung than they used to be. Have your dog tested, or I think they probably do cats too, but have your pet tested and see what they're low in or what they're high in or anything. And then that way you can kind of get on this end of it, because for this stuff, this is not gonna cost me anything basically to go through and do this. I mean, it's gonna cost a little bit of money, but I'm using stuff I have on hand. And the amount of quinoa she's gonna use is not gonna be much. Basically, all the things that we're doing to incorporate stuff are just additions to her diet that at this point it's gonna cost me like, you know, maybe a quarter a day or so to get all of this into her. That's gonna help her get the nasty stuff out, or just raise her levels back up to where they need to be. So that's the first thing. And the other thing is this can potentially, you know, help her in the long run, because if you're deficient in something for so long, or if you have toxins in your body for so long, then your body eventually stops working the way it's supposed to, and it either starts fighting to try to compensate for the things you're missing, or trying to fight off the toxins. So then that leads to other health problems because your body's all out of whack. So I think the test without my discount, I think it's $139, I believe. But if you think about how much information this is, like, I want to do it for me too, honestly. Like, I'm going to do me next. We're going to get Fairby in order, and then we're doing Mama next for sure. But if you just think about all of the great information you can get from this for yourself or for your pet or whoever, you know, this could really help you to stay ahead and stay on like the healthy side, or get healthy before things, you know, get so big that it's causing you actually like problems. So yeah, I've rambled for a minute, but I'm super excited about this. So I'm gonna get to cooking. So I steamed and pureed my broccoli, and then I heated up some water and I put in some beef gelatin powder, and then I put some turmeric in some hot water, mixed everything together. So I'm gonna actually pop these in the freezer now, and that way they'll get set up quicker. I'm gonna put diatomaceous earth in this little jar. This is the bag of diatomaceous earth that we get. It's huge. It's the organic one, and it's food grade, and I'll link it for you guys. Yeah, oh, and it's a 10-pound bag. I thought it was a 20-pound bag. So I'm taking a break from editing. I just want to pop in and let you guys know there's a lot more to this test than this little bit that I'm showing you guys. It's a lot for me to process and try to figure out what we need to change and like how to go about it. So I'm starting with the things that I mentioned in the video today. I'm just taking it like a little by little. The only thing is I can't figure out where aluminum came from. And that's kind of like where I'm struggling to figure out where how is her aluminum high, because we use filtered water. The only thing I can think is because of toxins in the air, but that would be a lot of aluminum. I mean, I don't know. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and we will see you soon. Bye guys.